Hey guys, PMHK here obviously, and in this video we're going to be comparing these two devices that I have right in front of me. On my left hand side I have the Redmi Note 9 by Xiaomi, and on my right hand side I have the Hisense H40 that I actually gonna be using it for over 6 months now. On the other hand, the Redmi Note 9 is a device that I'm giving away to one of you guys. If you want to enter that competition, make sure you check my previous video on the device, and as well as follow the instructions on how to enter both on Instagram and on YouTube. All right, so we'll start with the H40 by Hisense. This is an Android device. It originally came with Android 10, and there isn't really an upgrade up until this time, but just from the form factor sides, you have a touch ID. I keep saying touch ID. You have a touch sensor on the back. You have this quad AI camera setup, which comes mainly with a 48 megapixel camera. It also has an 8 megapixel ultra wide camera, and then there's two megapixel cameras, one which is for depth sensing and the other one is for those macro shots that you're gonna be taking maybe of plants or ants. I've actually had ant infestation in the house. But yeah, in front you have a hole punch camera right in the corner, just like this guy here, which I'm going to show you guys in a second. The screen resolution is 2340 by 1080. This guy has a full HD plus display, which is actually quite bright, I will tell you. And you have that chin that comes here in the bottom on those mid-tier Android devices. This guy uses a USB-C connector at the back. It still comes with a 3.5mm jack, and you have the speaker grill on the side. And on the other side you have your SIM card tray. It only takes one SIM card, and you can also expand the storage, which I'll speak about the storage in a second. You have power button there, and on top you have one other microphone which actually works together with the one below, just to help you when you are actually making phone calls, and also when you're using obviously your Google Assistant. Now on the inside, this guy here is a 4 gig smartphone. This model that I have here comes with 128 gig ROM on the inside. That's your storage, and it's using a custom processor which they call the MTK P70. And since I'm really not that familiar with that processor, there isn't much I can tell you guys about it, other than that this device actually runs real smoothly, and it has a 6.5 inch screen in terms of the physical size from corner to corner. Now moving to our second device, which is the Redmi Note 9. This guy also comes with a fingerprint sensor right at the back. It also has the quad AI camera, which composes of one 48 megapixel camera, one 8 megapixel for that ultra wide shots, and then you have two 2 megapixel cameras, which until now I really don't understand why they have those cameras here, which at least personally I hardly use those cameras. But you're gonna have 1 to 2 megapixel for your micro shots, and then you have a 2nd megapixel for that depth sensing, which is mostly used for the portrait pictures that you're going to be taking with this guy. And one thing I forgot to mention on this one here is that they both come with the flash on the side of the camera. Now talking about just the camera setup, comparing both devices, I prefer the one in the middle, which is the one that actually comes on the Redmi. It's just makes more sense when you're looking at it, and also even when you place the phone on the table, the phone will not actually rock on the side, but this one here actually tends to rock on the side. Now in front you have a 13 megapixel camera. Remember, on this guy here the front camera is a 25 megapixel, so you're gonna get more pixels on this one on the Hisense as compared to the Redmi. If you are into megapixels, I think that's a plus for you. But I'm going to show you a couple of pictures that I took with this phone so that you guys can see the difference in terms of picture. The screen resolution is similar to this one. It's using a full HD plus display with a resolution of 2340 by 1080, and it's also a 6.5-inch display. At the bottom you have, similar to the Hisense, you have a Type-C connector, you have your 3.5 headphone jack, and then you have your speaker right there as well. You have one microphone under and the other microphone on top as well. You have your power and the volume up button similar to the Hisense, and then on the other side you have your SIM tray. Now this guy here will support 2 SIMs, which can come in handy if you use multiple networks for different functionality. Let's say you use Vodacom for calls and you use MTN, for example, for their cheap data that they actually have. And you will also be able to expand your storage using a micro SD card right on the SIM tray. Now, talking about storage, this guy here is a 64 model and it has 3 gigs, which is a spec lower than the Hisense. The Hisense, as I mentioned, is 128 and has a 4 gig. The Redmi Note 9 is using a Helios 85 processor, which they say that it's actually good for gaming, something that I'm gonna be maybe testing in future. The only mobile gaming that I actually do currently is playing on my iPad, so the reason why I haven't really uploaded a video in a while is because I've been addicting myself. But I've already put the iPad away so I can come back and give you guys a comparison between these 2 devices. Now, last but not least, both of these devices support fast charging at 18 watts. The Hisense on one hand uses a 4500 milliamp battery, but the Redmi Note 9 has a much bigger battery with a capacity of 5000 milliamps. So if battery is actually one main concern, which I'm assuming it is for most of you guys, the Redmi 9 would actually be a much better option. So yeah, there you have it. This is gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't liked this video, make sure you do that already. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you go and you click that subscribe button. Also click the notification bells button so you can get notified whenever I upload a brand new video. And I am going to catch you guys down in the comments. If you have any questions, make sure you throw them at me. I'm going to answer them as I always do. And let me know which device are you currently using and what's the one feature that you love the most about it. And I'm gonna catch you guys on my next one. Peace.